Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This is my second game of the second group stage in Shadow Online Gaming's YouTuber Championship Tournament Group 2 game thing. Right, anyway, here we are with, it's Lizardmen versus Skaven, which is a bit of a funny one, especially with the last DLC coming out and mixing things up between both of those factions. It was a bit of a weird one, but what I figured is, oh, all those guns, you know, they'll just kill any big dino, right? They'll just kill a dinosaur in seconds. All of the Skaven artillery and weapon teams. So it's risky to bring a dinosaur, but there's no way they can have enough bullets to deal with all of them. So here I have Kroxigors, a Feral Brastillodon, a Saurus Scar Veteran, mostly because a Feral Carnosaur does the same kind of job that I want the Saurus Scar Veteran to do for cheaper, but it rampages, and you cannot afford anything to rampage. You need to keep that mobility. So, Saurus Scar Veteran for the rampage. Also, it's more cold-blooded that can stop other things that might have rampaged, which is, again, brilliant. So that's nice. Also, I have a Saurus Old Blood, so I've got the Scar Veteran and the Old Blood. So I've got the Horn of Kygor, of course, on the Saurus Old Blood to up melee attack, which will help punch through lines excuse me, a hell of a lot quicker. And also a Saurus Scar Veteran for the Plaque of Dominion, which will lower leadership, which is brilliant against Skaven, you know. Lower that leadership, smash through even quicker, and all these guys should be able to really push on the, you know, any advantage gained. Also, some Saurus Warriors. So, you know, I can kill chaff pretty effectively with them, so, you know, that's good. Clan Rats don't really stand a chance against them. Skinks, they're just a bit quicker and a bit cheaper. It's just more stuff I can throw at them, get into the back line, bog things down, and let my dinosaurs catch what's necessary. Also over here, I have a Skink Priest of Beasts, so I'll be able to summon Manticores as well, so there's more things that I can just summon, fly over the back, you know, front line, and into the back line, if he does have the mass to stop my dinosaurs from getting into the front. I also have Feral Cold ones, because it's just more stuff that's quite quick and annoying, and could do mad damage if it's allowed to. So that's pretty great. So general confusion over here. You see, he's got a very cheap line of Skaven slaves. In the back, he's got some Plague Monks, which will match up okay against Saurus Warriors, but they don't have the armor to withstand too much damage from the Saurus. Because Saurus have huge weapon strength, they really do. Also here, though, Blight Scab's Plague Pack is going to avoid terror bombing because they give that immune to psychology buff to nearby units. He's also got the Warlock Engineer to help sap health over time with the Warpstone armor, but he's also got Howling Warpgale in case I did go with a bunch of Pterodons. But I think Pterodons are far too risky in this matchup nowadays. They're too flimsy, and there's too much, like, decent firepower that you can't just avoid easily. So, yeah, I mean, the Rattling weapon teams are just going to kill Pterodons in seconds. So, it's good insurance, but also I don't think it's entirely necessary these days. But, you know, it is what it is. Also, Lord Skrulk, brilliant. Single target DPS is huge, and that's what you really need in this matchup, you know. And also, he could have had Jezzails. I thought maybe he had the other unit stalked somewhere, you know, the Regiment Renowned, but he didn't. He actually didn't. Turns out he just hates Jezzails. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like him at all. So, fair enough. He's gone with Rattling weapon teams, just out of principle, and I respect that. So, yeah, plenty of units, a lot of cheap stuff dotted around, some Rattling teams, which, of course, will just chew through Kroxigors or whatever, but there's not a lot to protect them here, because he's got all these units over here. He's got 3 units of Rat Ogres, and they have the mass to, like, charge in and just body block things. But they're not going to be doing that. He's using them like cavalry, and this is a mistake that a lot of people make. They think, oh yeah, I've got that mobile thing, I'll put it on the side. Cavalry has mass. Rat Ogres have mass. Sometimes you just need to block in the enemy's units that are, you know, cavalry or monstrous infantry, anything like that. You want to block that stuff in. And so you need things like Rat Ogres to do that. They also do considerable armor-piercing damage. So they want to be in here, just stopping my big dinos from getting in. But he didn't. He decided to go with this little flanking maneuver. So anyway, let's get to it. I think this is probably the one big mistake that he makes this game, sadly. But here you can see a Feral Manticore has been summoned, and it's going to be going straight for the Rattling gun teams, which, of course, as soon as it just takes one hit, these guys lose their health so quickly. But huge damage coming in over here. Saurus Old Blood jumping into front line. This Rattling gun team is going to be firing at him, and Skrulk is nearby, about to hit him with the Lead Bubonicus. And annoyingly, because of this, I hate this symbol. The Lord Under Attack thing is the most annoying thing in the world, because it means you can't select your Lord. I really hate it. I find it annoying. Sure, if you've grouped it or whatever, but sometimes you just want to click on someone and move them. But yeah, that's one gripe that I've got with this game that I really find annoying, because I couldn't see his health. I couldn't see how low it had gone. So, look, now I've done the Amulet of Itzel. I could have done that so much sooner and it'd still be on 2/3 health. But, oh well, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, Rattling gun teams. hit them with the Plaque of Dominion just to make them break that little bit quicker. And over here you can see I've got Croxagores and the Feral Manticore on the other. So Rat Ogres have charged in on this side, and you see my Croxagores are taking some damage. I'm running off with my Lord, I believe. Yeah, I've charged him over this way a bit to help break the center. I've got Croxagores in here, Saurus Warriors, Feral Bastillodon. I'm just breaking through every part of his army. Over here I've got my Saurus Scar Veteran chasing, which that is intentional, by the way. I know it's like, oh, bring him back into the fight. No, I want to make sure these guys don't come back. Annoyingly, they just won't shatter. They just won't shatter. But the Saurus Scar Veteran is quick enough that he can outpace them to get back into the fight if it does start getting silly how far away I've run. But anyway, more units are being summoned. Rat Ogres are trying to pull out and around, because I did actually get some Saurus Warriors out of the center and moved them down the side, because they have such great weapon strength that against even Rat Ogres they do brilliantly, because Rat Ogres only have 30 armor. So Saurus Warriors will just beat the snot out of them if these guys don't get charged by, you know, Rat Ogres en masse and just die immediately. They can just sit there and club them for a long time and do some great work. Also, blocking them with the Feral Cold ones, you know. I had them in there, and it was stopping the Rat Ogres from pulling out sooner, because they were just nipping at their heels. It was a real nuisance. So over here, Skink Cohort actually being chased off by Blightscab's Plague Pack. Such an expensive thing to have chasing skinks. Alright, that's the other mistake. But anyway, Feral Manticore, another one has been summoned, and he's coming for Skrulk. There we go, he's coming for Skrulk. And my Saurus Old Blood's going to step out for a minute. And here you can see Gutter Runners. There's a bunch of Rat Ogres here, and I'm going to hit them with the Plaque of Dominion again, which is enough to terrify those Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres just don't have the leadership. So I've got all my Croxagores in here, again, just blocking them. You know, I'm using my mass to stop his mass, but with the Saurus Scar Veteran in there, he's got such great anti-large and such huge weapon strength, he can just eat a Rat Ogre per hit. Over here, trying to deal with the Warlock Engineer, Amber Spear coming in for Lord Croak. Oh yeah, that's true, I had Amber Spear as well, because you can only summon 2 Manticores, so you're going to have Winds of Magic left over, so it's always good to bring another spell. And I think Amber Spear is a nice one here, because, say there's, I know, a million Stormveil with halberds, I can just shoot an Amber Spear down the line and kill a ton of them. So yep, Lord Skrulk not having a good time against the Feral Manticore. And over here, yeah, the Warlock Engineer not doing great either, but Blightscab's Plague Pack are coming back in, and so are a lot of the guns, because I wasn't able to shatter them. I just had to ignore them and come back, but look how much time I've had the Saurus Scar Veteran in here doing work, while these guys have been trying to get back into the fight. So it still bought me time to chase him off, you know. I didn't need the Scar Veteran here any sooner, so I was happy to have him run off like that. So, over here, Plague Monks being attacked. I don't know if they're the summoned ones or if they're actually the ones from the beginning that somehow survived, but either way, well played. So Blightscab's Plague Pack, they can do a mad amount of damage, and they do have that leadership penalty when they hit as well. So I'm just trying to nip at their heels, and now the Saurus Scar Veteran is going to be heading over here. Sorry, Old Blood is going to be heading over here to help deal with these Rat Ogres. I want that anti-large in there, because that will start to add up, the damage of the Rat Ogres. Over here, I've got my Croxagores pushing on through. They are under quite a lot of fire, and you see their health is going down very quickly, but I've got my Saurus Scar Veteran very close to these guys now. And yeah, I'm getting into this fight. And I have actually been force pathing, so the Croxagores have reached them. It's just the flag is over here. I've just been clicking them, say attack, 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 and they're doing it. You know, they've got there, and now they're in contact with them. They're just going to melt. And yeah, so are the other ones to the Scar Veteran, obviously. You know, they're not going to hold up to a Scar Veteran. Skrulk is still going, though. Those Rat Ogres, oh, okay. Yeah, they're wavering, despite not doing anything. I think that's army losses, isn't it? Yeah, it's army losses. Oh, and you can see my Skink Priest down there. Going so close. I was trying to hit him with another Amber Spear. He didn't have line of sight, so he was just running at him. It would have been nice to have hit him with another Amber Spear. Could have cut another 20 seconds off this battle. So, Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, well played by General Confusion here. I think he did well, but I think just the setup wasn't right. He needed more mass there, for sure. He needed more mass, you know, with the Rat Ogres. And in a way, I don't think Skaven Slaves really add much to this matchup, because anything can get through them very quickly, and so they're not really going to block anything that needs blocking, because things like sort of skinks don't necessarily need blocking for a few seconds. I don't think you necessarily need that as the Skaven. I think you want to go sort of clan rats if you can, because they can at least fight skinks fairly successfully. But yeah, I think the slaves don't really cause much of a roadblock just because of the amount of terror that can be fielded. I just don't think they really are a hurdle. I think they just break immediately. I think they break too quickly against the Lizardmen, just because the Lizardmen have so much terror in their army that they don't really get a chance to hold anything up and buy any time for anything else. So I think that's a shame about Skaven Slaves. But, I mean, it still works. It's still stuff you can throw at me. They got a few kills even, so, you know, they clearly went a total waste. I think the Plague Monks did rather nicely, but again, I think they're a bit too expensive. for what you need here. So, yeah, you've got to rely on things like the rat ogres and guns against Lizardmen a lot. I think something like a unit of Doom Flayers or maybe a Doom Wheel, I think could have been very, very handy, just to help deal with all the infantry and force me to have to chase it with other units. Thing is, I had so much stuff with mass in here, because I kind of know how Skaven need to play this matchup, and I kind of, yeah, I just overloaded with a bad idea, and that makes it a good idea. That's something that's very underrated in this game. If something seems like a bad idea, lean into it. Lean into it in a big way, because they will never think to counter what seems like a bad idea en masse. It's just never going to happen, right? They're never going to think, oh, well, a big dino is just going to be eaten by guns. So they're not going to bring 20 of them, right? So I don't need to bring 20 guns. But you do. Just lean into a bad idea, guys. It's the same thing with Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, actually, for Skaven. They're just crap if you bring one. If you bring one, that's the first thing that gets shot and it'll never get value, because they're just so prone to missile damage. They'll just get killed by, like, cheap archers or whatever. But if you bring an entire front line of them, you just can't do enough damage to all of them before they've completely decimated your front line, which is hilarious. So yeah, sometimes lean into a bad idea, and you'll get crazy results. Because yeah, people don't plan against a bad idea, because it's a bad idea. Why do you plan against it? So anyway, it's a lot of fun, regardless. So guys, if you enjoyed this, go check out General Confusion's channel as well for more Total War and strategy content. And yeah, check out Shadow Online Gaming for organising this tournament. And yeah, that'll do for me. So, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.